do not know what you are asking. For are you able to drink the cup that I drink? Or to be baptized with the baptism with which I am baptized?
We are able.
The cup that I drink, you will drink. And the baptism with which I am baptized, you will be baptized. But to sit at my right or my left hand is not mine to grant, but it is for those whom it has been prepared.
When the 10 heard it,
they began to be indignant at James and John.
You know that those who are considered the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their great ones exercise authority over them. But it shall not be so among you. For whoever would be great among you must become your servant, and whoever would be first among you must be slave of all. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and give his life a ransom for many. And as they drew near to Jerusalem, to Bethany, at the Mount of Olives, Jesus called 2 of his disciples and said to them, "Go into the village in front of you, and there, as you enter it, immediately you will find a colt tied, on which no one has ever sat. Untie it and bring it. If anyone asks you, 'Why are you doing this?' answer them, 'The Lord has need of it, and he will send it back here immediately.'"
so they went, and they found the colt tied up just as Jesus had said, and they untied it.
What are you doing untying the colt?
They told them what Jesus had said, and they let him go.
And they brought the colt to Jesus, and they threw their cloaks on it, and he sat on it.
And many spread their cloaks upon the road, and others spread leafy branches that they had taken from the fields.
And those who went before, and those who followed, were shouting,
Hosanna!
"Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord."
Hosanna! Blessed is the coming kingdom of our Father David! Hosanna in the highest!
And he entered Jerusalem, and he went into the temple, and when he looked around at everything, as it was already late, he went to Bethany with the 12.
The next morning, as they were coming up from Bethany, Jesus was hungry. And seeing in the distance a fig tree, he went close to see if he could find any fruit on it. But when he got there, all he found were leaves, for it was not the season for fruit. And Jesus said to the tree, "May no one ever eat fruit from you again." And the disciples heard it.
And he went into Jerusalem. And he entered the temple. And he began to drive out those who bought and those who sold from the temple. And he overturned the tables of the money changers and the seats of those who sold pigeons. And he would not permit anyone to carry anything into the temple. But he was teaching them and saying, "Is it not written, 'My house shall be called a house of prayer for all the nations'? But you have made it a den of robbers." And the chief priests and the scribes were seeking how to arrest him. But they feared the people, for they were all astonished at his teaching. And when evening came, they went out of the city.
The next morning when they came by, they saw the fig tree. It had withered to the roots.
And Peter remembered and said,
"Rabbi, the fig tree that you cursed is withered."
And Jesus said to Peter, "Have faith in God. Truly, I tell you, whoever says to this mountain, 'Be taken up and thrown into the sea,' and believes that it will come to pass and does not doubt, it'll be done for him. And whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it. It'll be yours. And whenever you stand praying, forgive if you have anything against anyone, so that your Father who is in heaven also will forgive you your trespasses. And Jesus returned to Jerusalem, and he was walking in the temple. And the chief priests and the scribes and the elders came to him and said, "By what authority are you doing these things?" Or, "Who gave you the authority to do them?" Jesus said to them, "I will ask you one question. Answer me, and I will tell you by what authority I do these things. Was the baptism of John from heaven or from man? Answer me." They began to discuss it among themselves, saying, "If we say from heaven, then he will say, 'Why then did you not believe him?' But shall we say from man?" They were afraid of the people, for they all held that John really was a prophet. And so they said to Jesus, "We do not know." Jesus said, "Neither will I tell you by what authority I do these things."
And he began to speak to them in parables. A man planted a vineyard, and he put a fence around it, and dug a pit for the winepress, and built a tower, and leased it out to tenants, and went into another country. When the season came, he sent a servant to the tenants to get from them some of the fruit of the vineyard. And they took him, and beat him, and sent him away empty-handed. He sent another, and they struck him on the head and treated him shamefully. He sent still another, and him they killed. So with many others, some they beat and some they killed. He had still one other, a beloved son. Finally, he sent him to them, saying, "They will respect my son." But the tenants spoke to one another and said, "This is the heir. Come, let us kill him, and the inheritance will be ours." And they took him and killed him and threw him out of the vineyard. What then will the owner of the vineyard do? He will destroy those tenants and give the vineyard to others. Have you not read the scriptures? The stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. This is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. And the chief priests and the scribes were seeking how to destroy him, but they feared the people, for they understood that he had told the parable against them. So they left and went away.
Now standing nearby was a scribe, and he had heard them disputing, but he had heard Jesus answering well, and so he asked him, "What is the most important commandment of all?"